Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. I just want to welcome you to the Empire New Nurses show again. I'm Dr. Miriam Smith. I've been asked many times about my podcast, and so I have the opportunity to tell others about what I do. That is empowering nurses, empowering new nurses. That's my target audience, new nurses, um, to do well, to be progressive, to be confident, to offer high quality care, nursing care by taking some of the tips that I have gained over 4 decades. Interestingly, young nurses have told me that, wow, we need this. You will agree with me that the orientation period is not as long as we had many, many years ago. Some orientation might be just, I'm not sure if it's even 3 months anymore. So this puts the new nurse into a position where they have to skill up quickly and jump into. However, the learning style might be different, the presenter teaching style might be different, and everyone does not learn at the same pace. And so you might have to ask for an extension. That does not say that you're not doing well, but we also are individuals. And sometimes the concept might be a little more challenging for others than others. And so it's the educator has to bear that in mind. And she knows or he knows that. But just putting some actions, knowledge into action can be a little challenging for some nurses, some new nurses. You see, the transition is different. From my observation, I've seen nurses who have been brilliant. Theory can just like that get it. They know it. But when it comes to the practical part, it can be challenging. And that's okay. There are different techniques that we'll have to implement at times in order to help one to grasp the concept. There are some stories that you might have to tell to make it so interesting that the concept is drawn. I remember one of my colleagues were doing some blocks in EKG and teaching it. And he would have used when we are when we're doing some blocks, like it's just so interesting though. He would have different illustrations that he would use. And some of you who have been with him might remember. I won't say no, but we'll have the opportunity again to talk. And some might use a different analogy, and you get it like that. But interestingly, different educators will use different illustration to bring across the information that they want the student or let me say student at this time to get and be able to understand. And also with some critical thinking, some scenarios put out there, having some knowledge that you're bringing, putting it into this specific scenario and get it out and be able to carry through with the patient, the physical patient care, not in the lab at this time, not simulation at this time, but the real patient. And so I can remember a time when one of my doing some clinical, and one of my students came over and talked with me, told me that the patient would not allow her to do some vital signs. And it was so clear. Okay, I had to go. I had to talk with the patient. And after talking with the patient, it was so interesting. The students were in the room also, and they approached him, of course, give him some compliments and have a little bit talk first, and then I went into what I wanted to say. And I can recall the students, panicking, looking at me and everything. And after talking with the patient, he said, just do it, just do it. And, when we had post after that session, and we had to have post conference after we have done our work, we come together and we share. And that they couldn't understand it. But this also takes some experience to share some of the to get to that patient, sometimes difficult patients. And there are different techniques that you will utilize, and at times it comes with some experience. You can't, they would say you can't be thin-skinned, and you can't take it personal. Then you develop that relationship, and you introduce yourself, you ask permission, you talk, and sometimes you just listen to them. They have something they want to say, they want something they want to get out, and then you have to have the technique. But that comes with also experience. And as you read and as you share with the different patients and with the nurses, just observe them keenly, carefully, and you'll see how they address certain patients with certain behavioral concerns. And it will make a difference. So with my podcasting now, I was encouraged mainly by my daughter, Joanna, because she has seen within me that I could do it and I wanted to do it also. But then she just, gave me that push. I'm so excited that I decided to do it. And my mentor, Jonathan Jones, had been very, very, very instrumental in helping me to get out of a different mindset. Not because I've taught for many years nursing, not because I've been an instructor in nursing for many years, but when it comes to the podcasting, it's a different, I would say the transition is different. It's a different mindset. Their techniques, yeah, I might have content, but I don't have the experience in podcasting. So I had to invest in myself. And so I'm happy I did. I've met some great people like Dr. Jones, the worthologist, the world worthologist. I've met Dr. Burgess, the sport doctor. I've met developers, podcaster like Ed Jones Jr. I've met Coach Ruby. I've met the great sobriety, RJ Zimmerman. Did I leave out any? And many more on the team. Now, in doing the podcasting, I was motivated. I was inspired to do a book. And that the inspiration was definitely through my mentor and his dad, Dr. Fred Jones. And so my book is about to be published anytime now, supposed to be the latest this quarter. So I have to get it on board. It should have been out already, but little technicalities you got to do it right, because you have to get right information. You got to get it done properly and all of that. So I'm excited today that it's in progress, and I look forward for you and you and you and you to get your copy. I am truly grateful to all who have been supporting me during this time, those who have critiqued my writing, those who have given me ideas. Uh, but I definitely was motivated. I was definitely motivated to do this podcast. And in writing the book, my mentors encouraged me to put some of the information um, that I have been sharing on this on my podcast, Empowering New Nurses, in the book. And so the birth of the book comes through my observation for over 4 decades, and onboarding new nurses and orientating new nurses, and also my experience that have started in my young years, uh, wanting to become a nurse because of experiences at home with my mom, who wasn't a nurse, but she was like considered a little one in my community, because she would have had the iodine and the purple gentian violet type of um, solution that they would put on cuts or bruises or anything like that. And she was the person in the community people used to run to or refer to get that little first aid solution to help to prevent any illnesses, infection or so. My mom definitely used to. And so that has also inspired me to wanting to become a nurse. She was instrumental in taking me to school, and I'll never forget when she got me registered for high school. Don't forget college. Just different phases of my life. My mom had been such a strong woman and be determined that her children would succeed in different things in life. She has been our backbone. She did not have the education that her children have, but she has been a stalwart for us. She has been our strength. She has been the fabric that make us up. And she has been a resilient person. Yeah, she died at 94 last year, May 6, 2022. The book is dedicated to her for being what she has been and have allowed us to be through God's help. She has encouraged many individuals, not just her own family, but her community, the world at large. Her memories will definitely be remembered, and her legacy will continue in resilience, in strength, in hard work, in diligence of all kinds. My young nurses, just be yourself. Remember that if you don't succeed at first, it's an experience, it's a learning experience. And so go back for it. Ask questions, use the resources that you have around you. Senior nurses, doctors, PCAs, PCTs, social workers, breast consultant, lactation consultants, respiratory therapists, the social workers, the occupational therapists, the educators, our senior nurses, and the list goes on. Okay? Thank you so much for listening. Let me hope you have a takeaway, at least one. Just embrace the pearls that are in this book that will be coming out, or the pearls on the YouTube that you can identify with and that will enhance your nursing care as you provide culturally congruent, high quality nursing care, as you provide individualized care, as you provide custom care, customized care to your patients. They love you for that. And of course, safe care. It's a part of the package. All right. Thank you. You can contact me on YouTube at Miriam Amanda Smith, Podcast Mir and Instagram, Facebook Miriam Smith, TikTok Miriam Smith, Spotify Miriam Smith. Yes, this has been pieces, I would say, putting together tidbits of my journey. And I thank you for the support. Thank you. Thank you for telling others about this YouTube. Thank you. I appreciate you. Have a great day.